Hello entrepreneurs, welcome to another segment with myself, the Business Doctor Keitumetse Lekaba. Finding the right funding. What a difficult thing to do for entrepreneurs. So today, I'm going to share with you guys tips on how to find the right funding based on the type of funding need that your company has. So we're going to look at 3 elements on finding the right funding for your business. Number 1, before anything else, you have to know your own company's funding need. What funds are you applying for? Are you looking for seed capital? Are you looking for startup capital for your business? Are you looking for asset purchase funding? Are you looking for working capital funding? Are you looking for growth funding? Or are you looking for debt restructuring for your business? Once you know this type of funding, it is going to assist you in approaching the correct source and also the type of funding that you need to apply for. Are you going for a grant? Are you looking for equity funding? Are you looking for debt funding? Or a combination of the above? And in looking for loan funding, are you applying for loan? How many years of a loan? Are you applying for a credit card? Are you applying for an overdraft facility? What type of funding does your business need? When applying for equity, what terms of the equity are you willing to put forward to that specific funder? With the combination, what type of combination do you think your company needs to be able to get the best funding for the company? Once you know the type of funding that you are going for, what you're going to use the money for, then you are able to go to the right source to find your funding. Let's go through them. You can either go to DFIs, Development Funding Institutes. These are typically government funding institutes, CFA, NEF, and IDC. All of these have different criteria of funding and different amounts that they fund and different industries that they fund. So before you even apply for this funding, know what you're applying for, know the specific funding you're looking for, and make sure that your company qualifies for that specific funding with that specific DFI. 2, your venture capitalist companies. If you're looking for equity, make sure that the venture capitalist terms that your company is looking for speaks to the terms that the company can actually fund. 3, commercial funders, banks, and the likes. If you're going for a commercial funder, make sure that you have the correct compliance documents that are required by each commercial funder, and make sure that before applying, the commercial funder actually funds that specific need that you are looking for. If you're not compliant, don't even start approaching a commercial funder. Lastly, another option for SMMEs to go to is ESD companies, or companies that specialize in enterprise and supply development initiatives. Often, big corporates, through ESD initiatives, have funds that they fund specific companies that align with their specific supply chain. So do the research and do the homework to find out which companies and which corporates are involved in ESD initiatives that can benefit your specific company in terms of funding. With all the sources of funding that are out there, there are specific main documents and specific compliance documents that are non-negotiable for each. So before you even approach any funder for funding, you have to make sure your company is registered with CRPC and compliant. Your company is compliant with the receiver, SARS, non-negotiable. You have to make sure that you have financial history. You can't just submit bank statements. Your bank statements and your financial records have to be summarized into some form of financial record. If you don't have financial record or you're a new company, you have to prove your market. The funder wants to know what is the potential of growth in your company and what is the market potential that your company has to grow. And that also speaks to the next thing that is required, your forecasts. You can't apply for funding without forecasts, especially if you're going for debt or equity funding, because the funder wants to know in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years that I'm giving you this funding, how are you going to make the money, and what homework have you done as the entrepreneur to make sure that there's market for your business? What is making the forecast a reality? It can't be a thumbsuck. Forecast, reality of the forecast, market potential, non-negotiable. And lastly, the jockeys in the business. Who are the jockeys in the company? Funders fund and back the jockey up. The people that are running the company. You have to have the right passion, there has to be the right skills, and you have to have the right expertise to make sure that the company is a sustainable company and the company becomes a success. So the jockeys, always put the jockeys forward and always put the right jockeys forward so that the funder can back the jockeys. With that said, good luck in finding the right funding for your business. And remember, research, research, research. Do the work.